Okay, so I really don't even know where to begin on this. Um, there's so much that the Most High has been putting on my heart and spirit to talk about and make videos about, and I've just been putting it off, just trying to find a break that's the chaos of my life to begin making videos and talking about the things that I'm observing and learning about. But since we are in a pivotal time, scriptural on the scriptural timeline, and we are in the middle of a tribulation. And what I'm just realizing is that there's never gonna be a good time to start. Things are never gonna be perfect and right. I'm not gonna be, have everything settled to get started. So I just got to dive into it right now. So I just want to start off by saying that, we are nearing the very end of this chapter on earth before the millennial reign. And in scripture, it talks about seeing signs and wonders in the sky. Um, I'm going to make some more videos after this to go into more detail. And this is probably just going to sound like a bunch of word vomit. I'm just going to be throwing out just, I've been taking notes, just things that I've been writing down and observing, but I gotta organize all of this. But so you'll just hear like a lot of dates and just thoughts and the observations that I've had. Now, what I did write down here is that in 2020, that Neowise comet occurred on March 27th, 2020.
And then the pandemic and lockdowns happened.
Now in September, they had that new comet come out, the green comet, discovered by Nishimura in Japan, and they're stating that the comet came by before approximately 434 years ago, which is key to remember that. Remember that 433, 434. Um, Looking at, let me see, I wrote myself a note. This was back in last month in August of 2023. Um, well, I had a lady. I didn't really know who she was. I only seen her a few times. Um, a part of a group function that I was doing, and it was only for that project that I had talked to her. But this was only for a few days last month. But she ended up telling me that the Lionsgate portal was gonna open on August 8th and be open for 10 days. And she said that meant that opportunities and new possibilities would be available during that time. So like she just randomly said that to me, and like I said, I really didn't even know who the lady was. And actually, after she said that, like it was only a couple of days later, like I've never even seen her again. So I just thought that was weird how like she just randomly mentioned that to me. But oddly enough, on that 10th day that she mentioned that the portal would be open from August 8th to the 18th, on the 18th that night, I remember going outside to take out the trash. And I looked up at the moon, and it was a blood crescent moon. And my daughter walked out there with me, and she saw it. And we were just, just in awe watching it. And that happened at approximately 8:45 p.m. And then I told my son about it, and then we got him to go back outside, and it was, but it by 9:20. So we saw it at about 8:45. At 9:20 p.m., we couldn't even see it. We looked everywhere. We couldn't even see it anymore in the sky. So it had moved quickly through the sky. And it was like we tried to look through the trees, like over other houses and stuff. We couldn't locate it. So it was like that moment in time, like if you weren't out there at a certain period of time to see it from a certain view. I mean, I'm sure if you were in a different, higher building, maybe you could have seen it, but from that's just strange from where I was, just barely 30 minutes later, it wasn't even there. So, and then nobody really talked about it either. It was like usually whenever the blood moons happen, they talk about it on the news, you see articles written, and I just remembered not hearing anything about it, and just that's why I was so surprised walking outside to see it on August 18th. And then even when I went online after it was very few people had even mentioned seeing it, not that many people were talking about it. So that just lets you know that a lot of stuff is happening in the sky, and people, it's not being broadcast on the news and in the media. They're talking about other things. They're keeping our focus and attention on what they want us to focus on and talk about and pay attention. And these signs and miracles are happening in the sky, and nobody's mentioning them. Um, and I just, right before I recorded this video, I was just trying to pull up the dates and stuff. And then I just saw that it's been reported that on September 24th, 2023, so just a few days ago, there was a blood red aurora, which, the Northern Lights. And the title of that article was The Holy Grail of Northern Lights. And in the article, it was just mentioning, because usually the Northern Lights or the aurora is a green colored light, but what they've been seeing is it's red. And they said that it was visible south of France, and some people saw it over, Europe, and even reached some of the northern states in the United States. I think Kansas was one of the states that they mentioned of how far uh, seeing this in the sky reached. And again, it's, I'm surprised they even did that article, but that little bitty article is just something that it happened to be in my feed. And that's probably because, I'm always researching stuff like this, but it's nothing that's really being talked about. And these are strange occurrences that are happening. And this is the stuff that we should be talking about. It's not being mentioned. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do a video that's more in depth on the timeline that I have been putting together. But what I can go ahead and say, like in a nutshell, the biblical timeline of um, the prophet Jeremiah and Daniel is completely off. From what I have been researching, Jeremiah lived during the 1400s, Daniel in the 1500s, and I do believe that the Messiah was born in the 1500s, 1533 to be exact. Like I said, I'm going to put up a timeline. I'm going to do another video. But I have the life that I have estimated was for 49 years, so not 33 years like they have been stating, but he was 49 years old when he was murdered. So he's born in 1533. I believe he died in 1582, 49 years later. Halley's Comet happened in 1531, which was 2 years before he was born, which would make sense for the comets. When they do come, they do last about 18 months to 3 years. So on average, about 2 years. And that does match up with the sign that the three wise men saw in the sky. And they knew when they were coming over to Jerusalem, um, which I believe is really on the North American continent, not over there where they say it is. When they were coming over here, they knew that they were, and even when, well, they call him King Herod, but I'll go into who really it was, which was people in Spain, were sending the wise men over. They were looking for a boy that was under 2 years old because they saw that Halley's Comet in 1531 and they made it over here around the time that he was born, which is around 1533. And I do believe that that's what guided them to come from Spain to the Americas, the North American continent that we know now. Of course, it wasn't referred to as America in the 1500s, but that's where the Israelites were. That was their promised land when they came out of Egypt. They came over here. And then, like I said, he was alive for 49 years, which that 49 is a 7 times 7. 7 means a lot. That is that biblical spiritual number. Alive for 49 years, died in 1582. And then it is reported that in 1582, there was just like what just happened on September 24th, that where they said it was the holy grail of northern lights. It was the red aurora. There was another red aurora that happened in 1582. And if you look it up, it's called the Great Fire in the Sky. And a lot of countries saw it, like in China, Europe, like everybody saw it. And then after that, in 1582, that's when the Gregorian calendar was created. And the dates, October 5th to October 14th of 1582, were completely erased. Those days are skipped on the calendar. And one article that I read, it said that no one was born and no one died during that time. So to me, that's like red flags, ding, ding, ding. If you're gonna write something saying, "Oh, during these dates, oh, nobody was born and nobody died, nobody important. Don't worry about it." That lets you know that around that time, somebody very important did die, and that's why those dates will try to be erased from history. Um, and then just quickly, like I said, I'll go into this more, but the dates, initially the Israelites were assigned 70 years of captivity. That's what the prophet Jeremiah was told. And then when the angel Gabriel came and because Daniel was doing the calculations, told Daniel that the captivity, because of Israel still not changing their ways and repenting and going back to living life the way that they are supposed to be living, continuing to live in rebellion and continue to be influenced by the Gentiles, that their captivity would be extended. Another 490 more years, which that breaks up into 483 plus 7. So total, Israel was assigned 560 years of captivity. But again, that first 70 years started during Jeremiah's life. And when Daniel was, like I said, doing his calculations, he saw that 70 years was almost up. But then that's when Gabriel said, no, it's been extended. And so that's when, after that, he said that John the Baptist was going to be born and able to anoint the Messiah once he was born, and also went to Mary and let her know that she would be giving birth to the Messiah. And then after that, then that's when the Messiah was born. So if I'm doing the math here, so from, like I said, from 1533 plus 49 years brings us to 1582 is when he died. And then after that point, there's 434 years, took us to 2016, which just think back on 2016. And that was a few years before the pandemic, but America elected President Trump, which his name is biblical when you think about the trumpets towards the end. So you add 7 years to that, and that brings us here to 2023. Now I know that there's going to be another eclipse that happens in October of this year, and then the other great American eclipse that happens in April, I believe April 8th of 2024. But just all the signs and everything I'm feeling and everything that I'm hearing people discuss, like something pretty big. There's big steps that are about to take place between now, and just crescendoing to the end of the year and then into the spring of next year with that eclipse. I know I just threw a bunch of dates and stuff all over the place, but I'm gonna get this more organized and come back and discuss it. And I'm gonna keep doing more research and listening to what everyone else is finding and discovering, and compile that together and come back and talk more. But we are definitely towards the end of this timeline for this chapter on Earth. Major things are about to happen. The government systems and structures and the different currencies all over the earth are about to crumble, making a way for what's going to happen next. So I just want to give all praises and thanks to the Most High Yahuwah for blessing me and putting this spirit of research and discovery and this wisdom on me. And like I said, I still need to get this in order a little bit better, but I'm gonna come back and give you guys write everything out and give a more of the timeline of what I have been discovering, and hopefully continue to teach and share more things that I am learning. All right, I'll talk to you soon.